And thank you, Frepe, for this wonderful event and all of you being here. And my topic is this one, pathway to ERPNext usage. So, I mean, something that was broadcasted or probably in the similar lines, but I was asked to, just make it a little attractive. So I tried that. I'm not sure how attractive it is. But this is on the premise that, Frepe has given a wonderful product. It is comparable to any of the SAPs or the Oracles of the world. Now it is up to us, the partners and the implementers, that how we bring in the usage, how we bring in the word of mouth, and how do we, take this forward and make it really a truly alternative to the SAPs of the world. So about us. So we are certified partners established in 2017 as we were like initially financial consulting company carved out of that, and 2017 is the Indiba business solutions that came in picture. Okay, I think this is better, yeah. We are based out of Pune here. A lot of technology is spread basically, we try to do a lot of things within ERPs. We were earlier SAP Business One partners. We also did SAP R3. We did Oracle NetSuite. We did QAD MFG Pro. We did Odoo. But now it's only ERP Next. So a lot of other resources and all, they have sort of migrated onto ERP Next. And we also have had our own product for HR and payroll. And that too, like it's right now in a stage where we are migrating a lot of our customers onto ERP Next and like sort of phasing out on that. So there is a confidence and the value that we have seen in ERP Next, and that's the reason we believe that with this it's a long-term journey for us that's going to be definitely helpful and for our customers. We also have been doing custom development where some good stuff in the IoT space. Tata Motors happens to be our direct customer in IoT space. And one very quick snapshot I'll show you. So on the web applications mobility. But I think, being a small player, we really cannot be profitable having our hands here and there. So we like sort of got focused now. We have executed projects across the geographies, India, Middle East, US, Europe, Africa, and across industries, manufacturing, services, within manufacturing also if we talk of, there is considerable experience that is there. So the first association with ERP Next that the way it started was, I was actually going for a SAP Business One demo. And somehow somebody it was way back in 2018, then somebody told, ERPNext is one of the open source, and it's a free software. I just went on that time, this demo version was available, so I just went on to and saw the demo version, and then this was close to 2,000 employees into security services based out of Pune. So we went there, I gave the demo. This deal was closed in 7 days. Okay, and I mean like no discussions over licenses and nothing, and so I mean that gives me another kickstart, and then let's go ahead with it. So we are now along certified, and we also have been 2021 by Silicon India, the most promising ERP companies. We also have a different experience, but just to bring out this experience very quickly, I wanted to say. So Sardar Sarovar Dam, at least for those who are not from India, it is one of the largest, second largest dam in the world, rather. So for that, the real-time water level and power sharing between Maharashtra, MP, and Gujarat, the 3 states. So that is on one of the control centers and all, and this was also presented to the President of India in the India Water Week some 2 years back by our customer, Narmada Control Authority. So that has been, there have been some wonderful different areas, but then obviously, as I said, to remain competitive, we need to be, so I think this is distorted. So this slide has got a bit distorted. So how do we look at success? Okay. So technology. So I mean, all of us have the technology. We have a good technology. So the base is there. Now, domain is an important aspect, but most important aspect in the ERP implementations is the attitude of ownership. And that is something, because when you land into a ERP implementation, the customers also do not know what the ERP actually has to offer. You also do not know what the complexities that may come up. So it is basically, you have to have that sense of ownership to ensure that you are successfully closing the business processes, and that's what leads to the, the project success. So the topic that I'm going to talk of, I thought it is important to establish me also, so that you listen to me with that confidence. So I am, apart from whatever college qualifications and all, so I'm certified in production and inventory management from the American Production Inventory Control Society. And on the supply chain space, I have been an international reviewer for the new content that gets released in the supply chain space, and especially by the APEX, the largest supply chain body. And I have had some of the contributions, and especially a couple of them related to the ERP success, and especially on managing ERP success post-implementation, immediately after implementations. Hands-on industry experience, pharma manufacturing, and across geographies, China to Africa to Middle East, US, Europe, and all. And to me, my individual engagements have been into 100 plus ERP implementations across your SAP, Oracle, ERPNext, Odoo. So that have been, has been considerable. And I believe that the cost of implementation of an ERP is not in not doing the customizations. So and it's not in doing the customization, because when we go for the implementations, and we are like having the, when we want to convince the customers, business users, so there's a debate that needs to be there, and for that debate you need to have persons who actually can counter their business processes and make and drive the change management. So that's where the cost is. That's what we believe. I'm not sure whether we are able to actually get that message across to the customers and really benefit out of it. But that's my personal belief here. And how do you ensure the ERPNext usage? So that's now coming onto the point. So first of all, we have to think scalability, both from the long-term perspective and from the short-term perspective. Long-term perspective meaning, they are going to have business expansions, mergers, acquisitions, and things like that. Short-term perspective, there has to be a discipline in, transactional entries, inventory reporting, and accuracy and things like that, right? So now, when we talk of ERPNext, how can we ensure long-term, scalability? So think of the sites, the companies that you are going to create. Just the example which Umair gave today, that you created so many branches, so many companies instead of branches and things like that. So what should be the warehouse structure? So if you are going to give your codification schemes to your warehouses, so then whether you are going to have multiple locations or multiple sub-locations, and tomorrow you can have locations in different cities or different countries and all. So all those logics have to be thought in, that, whenever a new scalability aspect that comes in picture, your system design is able to take care of the, the future needs and all. The item codification structures, the bill of material, they are the, the backbones of the implementation for the long run. And from the short term, your transactional simplicity. So I'm going to talk more on the transactional simplicity also. Always try to focus on, how you can bring in the transactional, simplicity. And now, one of the things, I mean, things are actually are coming out from some of the experiences basically, and nothing out of the theory way. So one which we have like sort of at times done is, let's say we are going for an implementation, and earlier the customer did not have a concept of batch management, for example, but now they are going to bring in the batch management. And once on first of when you are kicking off, you say that, oh, fine, we have designed and configured the system like that, but we don't have the inventory records in that way. Okay, so always take a approach of doing mock stock taking, mock rehearsal for your inventories, as if you are going live. Doesn't matter that it's not it's never a waste of efforts. So take that approach. And debate questions, okay? So don't take your customers at par, okay, so he's the customer, he knows his business well. No, we have also seen a lot of implementations, lot of industries. So we have to have confidence in us that yes, and counter what client is saying. Just as an example, one of the steel industries, they run on these thickness, width, and grade and all. So when we asked the production person, he said, yeah, I always, whatever I ask for, I get those specifications. When you say the stores person, no, the purchase order says something, the receipt says it is something else. So the important is, from our perspective, you have to debate. You have to think that, yes, there may be wrong. You bring, what we did rather, we brought up all the people together. Okay, and then they said, no, then there was a counter in between themselves. So these are like different approaches at time, differently that we have to build, we have to bring. From a consultant's attitude perspective is very, very important. Learning and unlearning. I have worked in pharma domain, and then I go to automotive, and then I bring up the concepts of whatever I have learned in the pharma, and then I try to push. And on top of that, I counter the business, and then, so I am actually not able to really, justify the solution that I'm going to put up that way. So it is very important. You have learned, it is good. You use that, but unlearn certain things and then learn the new business differently. You may have to go to some YouTube videos, see how those business operations happen and all. So that is one aspect. Secondly, understanding the business. Okay, so no, I think there have been talks going on that you ask the customers their problem areas. Okay, rather I say it differently. You tell the customers that these are your problem areas. You don't need to ask, because being having seen so many industries, so many verticals and all, we should know that what are the problems this person would have, this business would have. So just directly hit those. Okay, and do not ask the requirements. Lay down the requirement, especially when when it is a mid segment where customers are going to hear to us, and if we lay down the requirements effectively, the implementation cycles also would be less, and it will be, there is a acceptance of the processes also that is going to come up. Many a times it happens that very small things like I'm not going to create the item master. I know it's his responsibility, this person's responsibility and all. So design very, try to get all these binds at the time where you have decision maker and where you have a larger audience. Both should be there at the same time, because many a times, the decision maker probably does not know the actual complexities that are going on the ground, and he may take a decision, but then things do not work. So, and then keep your data recording very simple, so that you are very quickly then and there in front of the customer, you are able to write down and note all the decisions and all, right? And target the basics first. Okay, the customer should know that he is not going to get the maybe the sales cycle is different. You bring out certain things, but then when you are on the ground, you have to let him know that you have to have the basics first. Okay, and I think one thing which we can, or maybe from the personal experience, or that I can bring as almost most of our implementations we have been able to do with very minimal customizations, almost like standard. So we make the people change, okay, and then we do that. So we have been able to do that, and just 2 weeks last week, in fact, one of the AMCs was due, and we approached this customer. We were like feeling very bad. In the whole year, there was no issue that had come up from this customer, and then we are approaching for the AMC. So that's how when you go for the zero implementations, you are able to do that. So another thing, the invoice document is always the key. Try to see the customers will never compromise on that. So try to avoid any type of customizations in the invoice. I would say that don't do at all. You push back. Don't do any customizations in the invoices. Okay, and make it 100% foolproof. And just to get hook up the customers, once they start using the invoice, okay, from the system, there is not going to be any going back. So that is the first thing, you hook them up. So in order to move ahead, right? Now step into the customer shoes, role play. Okay, so this is like one of the real examples where it's a floor mill. There is a weighbridge. Our consultant is sitting there. So it is they have 5 different companies. Okay, 5 different locations. Now here customer says no, we'll follow one company processes and you implement here. We'll follow everywhere. I said no, that is not going to work. You say it today, but tomorrow it is not going to happen. Okay, so we made this person sit along with in all the 5 different locations and actually see how the things are happening. And there were like a lot of variations that were happening between companies. And then when we presented, then say, oh, so these are the changes that we have to do here, and these are the changes we have to do in the systems, and those things have actually come in. So these things are very, very important. And as consultants, we have to share the responsibility of change management with the customer. So, things that I'm going to escalate it to the senior management, no, that's not going to always work out, because the customer also has to work with their end users, and also things do not work that way. You have to guide them. You have to, at times, depending on the situation, at times you have to create that scare environment, and at times you have to, support them. So just one quick example, one of the shop floors, the people were not, and some of the data entries which were not very relevant, or means not stopping the businesses earlier. So those transactions, they were like sort of avoiding that. So we just did one thing. We put up an Andon, a TV, in the chairman's cabin. And people thought that, oh, so, and chairman was really not bothered, but people thought, oh, so there is somebody watching us, and then the things came in place, right? So designing of the business processes have to be very simple. Make extensive shop floor tools. Identify the source of, read the documents well, the source of data generation, analyze paper formats, design simple processes. There is no one rule. There is no one single rule, and this is not something that I prepared just for this presentation. This is something I pulled out from there. So, when you are designing the manufacturing processes, you have to look at, not everything can be fitted in the BOM. Just, if we have to look at this particular piece, something that is manufacturing from here to here is a part of bill of material, and something which is from here to here is from the routings. So it is not that, one processes that you can, so it is things come out of experience and making things simple. Customer had an approach of some 20,000 items for this particular case. We reduced them to some 10 to 15 items. And custom fields are wonderful. Place the custom fields appropriately after thorough process analysis. It should help the business. What is different here? If you look at, you see the serial number is here, which is regularly not in this thing. So these are very, very small changes where, there were some practical challenges. Customer had anticipated some 50 hours of custom development into this. And unfortunately, we were paid only for 3 hours for the consulting for this particular thing. So, and training, budget more for on-the-job training. This is more from our approach of we try to do remote things, but at times, sometimes it becomes necessary. So do that. And post go live, make it easy for the users to report the problem. Don't scare the users unnecessarily, and make informal audits. Don't put up problems under the carpet. ERP Next, effective. So believe in ERP Next, its power, effective design, and change management. Supporting the change management, you can deliver a scalable solution. Thank you.